Since the beginning of time, Lost Ark players have had to adapt to make as much gold as possible on their 18 raids a week. Like hamsters on a wheel trying to figure out how they can get around a millisecond faster each loop. But how does one new to the game with a fresh one character account and 0 gold in the bank thrive in this economy? Well, viewer, I, the incredibly average Lost Ark player, have got the secrets for you. I recently pushed a clean, fresh account from 1490 to 1580 in 2 weeks with little to no grinding, and I'm currently doing the same on a South American account to test if I can do it quicker. So follow along as I break down the steps I took on this process and detail easy gold earning methods for new players so that they can build up their characters faster. This journey begins 2 weeks ago when a few people mentioned pushing characters for fun on the western region, and well, Famine Burnout told me that that was a fun thing to do for some reason. Note that this guide uses an event boosted character to expedite the growth speed, but the gold earning methods are still solid for any and all characters. Getting to 1510 is pretty easy with the event, but if pushing to 1490 run out of materials, note that there is mats from the Ark Pass daily login time rewards, the Naruni event, and South Fern Chaos line that sport more than enough to comfortably get you there. Once 1490, the Makoko Express gives you gear, and then you can transfer your relic to Ancient and you will be 1510. You will notice at this point gold is required to hone and you have none of it. The obvious answers is Legion raids, but this is a horrendous first step for a new account as you will likely have a large issues finding a lobby to accept you. We'll come back to this at the end of the guide, so stay tuned to see the best ways to get into those lobbies. My first step for you is to make any gold possible. You'll notice if you're brand new that you don't have access to the market for a few days, so you'll have to ride that out. But getting any gold possible into the account is beneficial to be able to sell on the market. Basically, every sale has a deposit you have to make that gets returned after the sale, but there's also a sales tax, so having a baseline of more than 0 gold is required to use the market. So breaking the 0 threshold is the first struggle. In my personal experience, the best way is Abyssal Weekly Dungeons. There are 2 easy dungeons you matchmake into that have a chance of a rare card drop at the end. Experienced players basically foam at the mouth for the chance of getting in a lobby with someone like you, so that these items that will go for 8 to 20k can be auctioned for the lowest possible price. Getting any and all gold is the point here, so even 16 gold is worth the run, and lots of times players will even bid on the common cards, so the 16 gold is pretty easy to get from it. Doing this at a later time when you've got more gold, it may be beneficial for you to bait the more experienced players into higher bids as they are typically very close to finishing their sets and will go wild for them, but this isn't always the case. In my experience on the west, a 1600 player was able to buy a selector for 5k and a regular legendary card pack for 1k. Still a win for me, but considerably lower since he was able to solo push the auction price by himself essentially. So the best and probably least utilized gold resource by new players is Uno tokens given out weekly. If you press Alt J, it opens your Uno's window. You'll have 1 character, so min-maxing this is necessary for max payout. Note, Uno tokens received is set at the start of the week, based on your highest eye level character. Una's on a brand new character will be next to nothing, but let's say you make this character and push it to 1510 before Tuesday. Una's starting Wednesday will be nice and hefty, so you'll need to decide on what 3 dailies you should pick. Many will choose Leapstone's task as this is typically a bottleneck with honing, but I opted for a quick, efficient pick in just tasks in Elgacia to maximize my teleports. Note, base new players should have 2. I have 3 because I have the aura. If you do the Arkesia tour, that'll boost you pretty close to the roster level to get a 3rd. I use my 2 teleports for speed on 2 of my Unas, and my 3rd is close to a triport so I can bang these 3 out quick. At the start of the week, set your weekly Unas as well. I recommend Chaos Dungeons, Guardians, and probably Cubes, but if you don't want to opt in for cubes, you could technically do 1 Guardians weekly immediately by setting it and then doing the weekly Guardians for the resources and the autocomplete of said task, then set the other Guardian task for when you get to running regular Guardian. If you do them rested, you only need to do 2 to complete this task. The goal is to reach 70 Unas points. Daily Unas gets you 2 per, so 6 daily, and weeklies net 12 each with a max of 3 per character. So with a max of 36 points for 1 character of weeklies. Then 5 days worth of dailies unas plus 2 additional dailies will get you to a week's worth. This is why I find it more beneficial to make the daily unas take as little time as possible, but also you'll get 1 free insta-complete or +1 coupon daily for login time. I'd recommend the +1 on days you need to catch up on, then when it's all complete, take it to the gold vendor and exchange for the middle pouch. The bottom one is a gamble for that big chest. Just go middle for a guaranteed slight more gold. This is a nice little weekly stimulus. At this point, I will assume you have now made some format of gold to begin selling on the market. Leapstones from Guardians hold tremendous value, even just the marvelous ones. If you're using the event, you shouldn't need to save the unbound ones. Similar with your weapon stones, you should be able to sell those, but honing luck varies, friendo. There are also weekly activities like Chaos Gates, Siege events, and Gold Island. Gold Island is an adventure island that happens twice weekly. Just check the Adventure Island tab to see the daily choices, and if you see gold, maybe check it out for just short of 1,000 gold. Siege event is Medea and Slime Island that guilds set twice a week. These drop a lot of accessories, but the main thing is the gems for the selling purpose. The last thing on this list is Chaos Gates. These happen on the same days every single week. Depending on your character that enters the gate's eye level, you will get honing materials and shard bags that can be sold on the market. All of these options take about 5 minutes. These are great sources of decent daily gold that will add up quick. Assuming your character is using event gems, you won't need gems this small. So fuse them into level 5s and sell at market price. Don't try to get the most gold possible, just offload quick. Check the price of all level 5s, not just yours specifically, and open the range to all classes. They typically go for 1,000 to 1,300 gold each. So, as mentioned, siege events drop them, but you will also get them from daily chaos dungeons, fuse until it's level 5 and then sell. Cubes are another great source for gems. You get 1 to 2 cube tickets weekly from Chaos Dungeons. Reminder that you can do weekly unas paired with this to be more efficient on time. One last source of level 5s weekly is the Triangle vendor. At 1540 Triangle, normal mode is available. To be efficient, buying boxes isn't probably ideal, so you won't get enough material to buy all 3 boxes to make 1 level 5. At 1580, hard mode Kaya is unlocked and you get all 4 boxes and allows for 2 level 5s. This is just another source of weekly gold that can range from 4 to 10k additional gold weekly for one character. One other daily way of gold is the age-old life skills method. There are 6 different life skills. 2 are essentially useless to the best of my knowledge, that being wood chopping and stone picking. Then there's hunting, harvesting, excavating, and fishing. This is heavily region dependent, and this is basically due to bots. I personally love excavating as you can do it very quick, especially with the essence you get from the event weekly vendor, but many do love fishing as well, as you can just press E essentially every 5 seconds with no competition. Like I said, this is region dependent. For example, 100 basic fish is 22 gold on NA East, but this same amount of fish is 500 gold on South America. Note, there's a huge discrepancy between player amount and bot amount, but it shows the vast difference per region. So, some fundamental research on the 4 potential skills is needed, then you can farm for 500 to 1500 gold a day. Some are quicker than the others. Note that all these previous methods listed so far seem like a lot, but many can be stacked with each other and is a max of 30 minutes of dailies. You can win large amounts of golds from Fate Embers from Guardians and Chaos Dungeons, but you can go weeks without seeing that gold drop, especially on one character. The last and most obvious gold source is raids. You get 3 raids weekly that you can do as a gold earner. I would check out the Lost Ark Nexus site for raid rewards, as the higher the tier, the higher the ramping of golds you will get. That being said, getting into one of those raids solo as a new player or even just as a new account is rough. I had 3 other friends looking to fill a normal Brel, and it took a very long time. Thankfully, we found a Juice Soul Eater who joined since he was bored, but the other 3 people definitely lied about knowing the raid. Then in typical fashion, they begun to, well, blame each other, when the case was that they were all essentially new to the raid. In the second week, somehow we got a hard mode lobby immediately, but then we had a 1600 Aeromancer gloating at the end of gate 3 that they were doing 30% of the damage of a lobby filled with 1560 roster 50 characters, so that was fun. We tried on South America on reset and got some folks in our lobby. We noticed that they have a slight difference in how they do X3 positions. I didn't really understand exactly what the difference was, but just note that some regions do some mechs slightly different. If you want to bypass gatekeeping gatekeeping in Lost Ark, check out my video on it for a breakdown on how you can avoid it. But the gist is you will either need to make a lobby, join a learning lobby if you're new, or join a Discord like LFG that you can source people to set up times to raid in your chosen region. As a new player or a new account, you really can hope to brute force Party Finder and hope some random person will let you in their lobby. That first Western normal Brel took a long time because it was close to reset and late at night, but the following ones were easier based on timing and amount of predetermined people in the lobby. Solo raids are on the horizon, but doing Legion raids is possible as a fresh account if you follow the proper steps. Check out that Discord, or if you're on Western or South American servers, join the Region Alts Guild. Maybe I can get you into one of my weekly Brels. I wouldn't bet on it though. I use this once again as the last option of gold earning for this guide, as it is by far the hardest for new players, where everything previous is extremely easy and time effective for gold earning. Hopefully now you can get around your gold earning hamster wheel at a moderate speed, but take it easy. You don't want to be min-maxing gold too hard. It's an addictive way of the Lost Ark life, and you don't want to get lost in the sauce. Check out my previous video about my adventure with the Breaker class. I had a lot of fun with that video, and it seems a lot of you who watched it enjoyed it as well. So any and all love there is greatly appreciated. Check out my Lost Ark plays for more guides that could possibly help you and your Lost Ark life become a little bit better. See you in the next one.